Hello, Virgo Divine Masculine. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your energy check-in. So I do want to share with you that if you're curious about the decks that I'm using today, you can find a list of them in the description box below. You can also find links to my social media accounts, as well as links to information on personal readings and the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram. So Virgo Divine Masculine, before I came into your reading, I drew a card from the Gateway of the Light Activation deck for you. I did that merely to save time, just to see what you might be experiencing currently. So the card that came out for you is the Divine Matrix, Interconnectedness, Synchronicity, and God Incidences. Now, here's the thing. I feel like you could potentially be experiencing signs and synchronicities in the form of like repeating numbers or seeing the same or similar types of things taking place, or having the same conversations, or, you know, like, for example, like maybe you mention something to somebody and they say something, and then you're talking to somebody else and they say something very similar, right? Things like that. I feel like you could potentially be experiencing things like that. I also feel, and this is purely based on what I've been tapping into with the Divine Masculine Collective as a whole, I feel like you are probably starting to, or at the very least, be open to praying or talking to God. This may not be for everyone, but I do feel like there are some of you within this Virgo Divine Masculine Collective who are now opening up and talking to Spirit, right? And you might not even realize that that's what you're doing. Maybe you're just kind of thinking out loud, but in reality, like, that's what's going on, right? So very interesting energy. Before we continue on, I do want to share, because I forgot, just because this title is Divine Masculine, it doesn't mean that that applies solely to a Virgo who is a male, right? It could easily be a Virgo of the female gender who is in her masculine energy, okay? I also want to share that there may be information in here that the Virgo Divine Masculine counterpart may find valuable, right? Based on the journey that they're having or sharing. So before I forgot, I wanted to say that also, please remember that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. So only take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, so we're going to be looking at a lot, Virgo. Let's jump right in and get started. So please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what can you tell us, please, about Virgo Divine Masculine current energy? Okay, I'm going to take them. Normally I wouldn't take that many, but I feel like there's something here. You do have at the bottom of the deck the Mystic in the light attribute or upright position, revels in intimate union with the divine. Now here's what's fascinating about this Divine Masculine is that this is on the bottom of the deck for you, which means to me, and look, it's also purple, just like this Divine Matrix card. Right? So again, I do feel like you're opening up to that connection with the divine, with your creator, God, whatever you want to label it, call it, right? Name it, whatever. I feel like you are opening up to that idea, which is why this is on the bottom versus out in your reading, right? It's like you're just starting to step into that, or at the very least, be open to it, right? Now, obviously, if you're like, no way in hell, that's not me, well, then maybe this reading isn't for you, or that particular message is not for you, okay? But that doesn't mean that there may not be something else later on that is relevant to you and your current energy and journey at this time. So I want to say, like, this is really fascinating to me because I'm fairly certain that no other sign got anything like this. You have all blue cards, or a shade of blue. Every single card for you. So that could be a color that you are like wearing a lot, seeing a lot. you know, if you're like redecorating or something, you could be using this color. You could be actually blue, as in sad or down as well right now, right? But I find that very fascinating that they're all these bluish colors. You do have the Knight in the upright or light attribute position: loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. And here's the thing, I'm getting the feeling for you, Virgo Divine Masculine, that you probably are somebody who is very, what is the word, please? Yes, thank you. You probably have very strong opinions about what it means to be honorable and what it means to be trustworthy, what it means to be like, I don't know why I'm getting this, but like a good person, right? I feel like you probably have very strong opinions about that. And I feel like this is something, I feel like you may have always been this way, right? So I feel like this Knight being in the light attribute position is probably not, oh wow, you got some fear being really, you have fear wanting to be released. I'm getting this burpy fear energy, which is how it's channeled through me, like fear, needing to release fear as well, right? It's like burpy, but like I couldn't get it up. So I feel like there's fears that you need to release around. I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't think that you're very chivalrous. Maybe you don't think that you're honorable, even though you strive to do so or something. Because it feels like there's fear that needs to be released around that, but it's not being released. So I don't know if you have like deep fears around not being this, right? Or like something like that. But I feel like you could have potentially been this way for a majority of your life, right? And before we move on to these other three cards, I want to share that this could be your energy, okay, Divine Masculine, or it could be the energy of those around you. So close friends, family, maybe your divine counterpart or partner, right? It's like a lot of different potential way, I guess you could say, that these energies may manifest themselves in your reality. So you also have here the Priest in the reverse or shadow attribute position. And it says here, violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So again, it is in the reverse, right? But I will show it to you, the upright, just so you can see it. You know, I feel like I don't know that this is your energy, Virgo. I really don't. Because it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's coming from somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe you are someone who likes to go to church or something like that. And there could be somebody within your spiritual community who is, you know, kind of acting like they know everything. Maybe you have questions and they're just kind of like, no, I know the answer to that. I don't need to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe they just think they know everything. Maybe you think you know everything around spirituality, but I'm not really getting that, because I feel like you're just, and it could be too that you have just started to be aware or step into this connection with divine, and maybe you're feeling like you know more than you do. That can often take place, like especially when we start to overcome bits of our ego. Sometimes our ego will step in and be like, oh yeah, well, I'm better than you now. Right? Because I know these things. I hope that's not what's taking place, but it could be. Could be that. If this is you, I would say, you know, I would advise you to, you know, find some balance between your spiritual role and your human self, right? And the trust. It's, again, I don't feel like it's you, because you have this Knight card up here first for you, which I feel like is your energy. Like I got that right away. So I feel like this could be somebody around you. I would say if it's not you, Virgo, Divine Masculine, I would say to be paying attention to those around you, because there could be somebody who like thinks that they know all the things about spirituality and they really fucking don't. You also have the Thief here in the reverse or shadow attribute position, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Right? Again, I don't know that this is you. I really don't. I really, really don't. Because that Knight, right? Like with that Knight there, it just feels, okay, it feels to me like this Knight is potentially your energy, Virgo. And then this Priest and the Thief in the reverse, I feel like could potentially be the energy of someone else because it doesn't feel like your energy. In that case, in which case, I want to advise you to be very mindful of the people that you have around you right now, because this tells me that you're vulnerable, right? Whether you want to believe that or not, your consciousness, your soul is vulnerable, right? Because you have the Priest who can like seduce, like be seduced and violate your trust, right? And then you have this Thief here, which is like stealing things, your ideas, affection, all these things. Okay. If you are in a karmic relationship, okay. And if you don't know what that means, feel free to look it up. Karmic, soul teacher, whatever. It could be this person. So, your divine feminine, whether that's a male or female, doesn't matter to me, but that person could potentially be the one who is acting like they know everything. And, oftentimes when we're with a karmic partner, they are also learning, right? So we're learning from them, but they're also learning from us. And so we, oftentimes get in these connections where they feel chaotic and messy and, different types of things. And it's because it's trying to awaken us to a new level of ourself. It's trying to show us things about ourselves that we may not have recognized without that person. And so this could be that person for you. Okay, maybe you're in a relationship that's like turbulent is the way I would describe it. I'm not saying you're like 100% like miserable, but it could be turbulent. And that could be this person potentially. Because you also have the Mediator in the reverse or shadow attribute position, negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. So I would be looking at your spiritual life, your personal life, and your work life, Virgo Divine Masculine, to see where these energies are potentially. With the Mediator in the reverse or shadow attribute, again, I'm getting a feeling that you may be experiencing a karmic partner right now, because here's the thing. Like I was saying, karmic partners also grow and learn from us. And when a karmic partner, let's say you have a divine feminine karmic partner who is not in their divine feminine energy, right? Even though they're not your divine counterpart, they are somebody's divine counterpart, and they are growing and learning for that counterpart, right? Or for the next experience, whatever it is. That being said, they're going to have things that they need to heal as well. And some of those things may be around attachment, abandonment, rejection, right? These sorts of things. And so if, for example, Virgo Divine Masculine, you're in this position, a relationship where it's turbulent, you're like, I'm not thinking this is for me. And that person is like, stage 5 clinger locked on. I'm just kidding. It doesn't have to be that. But if they like legit, like, tightened their grip around the relationship, they can probably feel that energetically, even if you haven't expressed it to them, that pulling away, right? And so they're going to try to hold on to it by any means necessary because they're wounded. They're still dealing with their traumas and need to heal and etc. Right? So again, like, I don't know who this is for you, Virgo Divine Masculine, but I would be paying attention. Let's get some tarot on these cards, please. Tell us some more about Virgo Divine Masculine's current energy and this invasion over here. Tell us more about what is this? Mother of Cups. Okay, so you could be dealing with like your actual mother. You could be dealing with a mature female. Okay, so again, it could be your feminine partner at this time, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be a female, right? But just a feminine energy. With the Mother of Cups, this is an energy of Cancer. So your divine counterpart could be a Cancer that you're, or your karmic partner, rather, because we're looking at that right now, could be a Cancer. Your mom could be a Cancer. This could be the mother of your children if you have children. Also, but it could be a Cancer energy. And this is an energy of compassion, calm, and comfort. And I almost get the feeling like it kind of landed like that, right? Not straight on, up and down. And I kind of feel like there could be part of you who may saw this person, again, whether it's your mother, the mother of your kids, or your current partner. You could have saw this person, I feel, as like compassionate and, you know, calm and warm and sweet and, you know, soothing and all these things. And maybe you've since seen that change because it's like this. So it's almost like that feeling of like, is that really, like, is this really who I think it is type of energy? Tell me more, please. Tell me more. I don't know. I also get the feeling that you may be very comfortable, maybe growing more comfortable in your emotions, in your intuition. You may have recently come to realize that you're an empath, right? And may have started, wow, you have the Daughter of Cups too. So again, like this could be like the mother of your child potentially, that right? And I wanted to look at these energies that in the reverse first, right? So Daughter or Page of Cups is an energy of like the dreamer. It's also a naive energy. It's interesting because I'm getting this energy of like potentially it being, it could be like a mature woman. I'm getting like fear, you guys. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to let this person go. Maybe it is literally your mom, but they're fucking immature as shit spiritually. You know, emotionally, like could be immature as shit. Like you could see them as calm and comfort because it's your mom, but they could be, you know, immature and sensitive, right? Like it's really fucking interesting because, you know, I would have expected like more denser energies coming out with these cards, but I feel like this could just be somebody who's super in tune with their intuition, right? And again, maybe it's your karmic partner, maybe it's the mother of your child, because we do have like a mother and daughter here, okay? Or maybe you are a Virgo divine masculine who's in their feminine energy. Could be that too. But I get the feeling that somebody here is like, could be super in touch with their intuition and very like manipulating that, right? With the priest energy and the thief and the mediator. Like I feel like they could potentially be manipulative because they can tap into different energies. But I also just get this feeling that this could be somebody who is an older, like female, right? Or feminine energy, but acts immature. Like they're actually not, right? Like they may come off that way, but they're actually not mature. They're actually very sensitive and like feel deep and a little dramatic and probably naive a little bit. And I feel like here's the other thing. You have this Five of Swords. And this is like a win at all costs kind of energy. Or yeah, this is right. Five of Swords. Yeah. This is like a win at all costs energy. And I feel like this is what that person is attempting to do. So again, if you are trying to leave a relationship of any kind, whether it's a work, whether it's a spiritual, whether it's a romantic, whether it's a friendship, I don't care. But if you're trying to leave a relationship and separate yourself from that, I feel like this person is trying to hold on to you at all costs. Right? It's like this energy, because this is a unbridled ambition. Win at all costs. Sneakiness. And because there's that sword there, it's like, I see, it's like wanting to separate from that energy. I would be mindful. I don't know who this is, right? If you had somebody jump into your head as I'm talking about this is probably a message for you. If you're like, I have no fucking clue, then I wouldn't worry about it unless it shows up in your reality. Damn, you also have the Five of Wands at the bottom. So that's 5-5. That number could be important for you this month, at this time. You could be seeing that a lot. The number 5 is about conflict, change, instability, right? And you do have that divine matrix card with the synchronicity. So again, 5-5 could be important. But the 5 of Wands is an energy of conflict, reality, competition. And I feel like maybe Virgo Divine Masculine, maybe you started realizing that whoever you are with currently is not your person, like your forever person. And this individual has picked up on that energy, even if you haven't expressed it verbally to them or in writing or whatever the hell. They could have picked up on this energy and they feel that sense of competition, and this is creating conflict, further conflict within your relationship and within your reality, right? And I feel like they're trying to hold on to things that it's I don't know. You tell me, right? It's your story, but it feels like there's some level, or there could, I mean, really, because I'm seeing like Mother and Daughter of Cups, even though I don't want this to come off the wrong way. Like it could be that you were with someone older and have since like been more drawn to, attracted to someone younger. And that's where the competition is coming from. I don't know. But there's something going on here creating a bunch of conflict. And I feel like it's stemming from this energy here of somebody like trying to manipulate you or your situation in order to get the results they want, in order to please themselves, appease themselves, fill their own cup, right? And even if they don't necessarily see it that way, it's what's happening. So let's look at this Knight energy. And I'm getting like an itchy throat, so I feel like there's probably some truth to that. That maybe either you or this person has not admitted to themselves. The Knight wow, you have the Two of Swords, which is fascinating because you have a fucking knight, and what do they carry? Swords. But you have the Two of Swords in reverse, which is an energy of a stalemate and indecision. So I almost feel like there could be part of you, Virgo Divine Masculine, that wants to lead the situation, especially with that horse there, and is struggling to do so because you are in an energy of like not being able to make a decision. I don't think you want to hurt anybody. I don't think you want to make anybody feel, what is the word, please? Not valued is the word, is what I'm getting. Or you don't want them to feel like it's because they're terrible or anything like that. But I feel like it's just literally, I don't know, it just feels like you are struggling to move forward because you don't want to hurt anybody, but you feel like you're being called somewhere else or to another relationship or maybe just to be single. I don't even know. But it feels like there's this energy of wanting to move away from something, and maybe you're not, because you're just wanting to be this, right, loyal, romantic, chivalrous, honorable person. Okay? Maybe this is somebody who you have a child with, and maybe that's why you're struggling. Right? Maybe you're like, what's the lesser of two evils here? Like, what do I do? And I want to lovingly say to you, Virgo Divine Masculine, turn to your creator, ask for guidance, right? Let your creator bring you solutions that you can't yourself think up. And whatever conclusion you come to, choose for you, because it's probably what you're meant to do, especially if you keep being called to it. There's no reason to feel guilty for moving away from things that are not meant for you. Right? Like, if this person struggles to deal with that, that is not your problem to solve. It's not your burden to carry, right? It's theirs. I mean, I say that lovingly, and I'm not saying this to be a jerk, and I don't want to, try to convince you to make a decision you are not ready to make. But, do what's best for you. By the way, I am not I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist, right? So make the decisions, use your discernment and your intuition and make the decisions that are best for you, right? Don't take my word for it based on a tarot reading. This is meant to be a tool, not the end all be all, okay? You also have, wow, the Daughter of Swords on the bottom of the deck. I feel like this has something to do with a female. I don't know. A feminine energy. It doesn't have to necessarily be a female. I probably should have worded that better, chose my words more wisely. But I feel like this has something to do with the feminine energy, because you have the Daughter of Swords too, which is the Page of Swords in the tarot, or is normally referred to the Page of Swords. And this is deception, manipulation, all talk. So again, like, a lot of what you have coming up here is about lies. So either you are lying to yourself, Virgo Divine Masculine, or someone else is lying to you and trying to manipulate situations, or it's both, right? So let's take a look at what you should, let's take a look at how you can be more active in chasing your desires. How can Virgo Divine... Okay, that was interesting. You have the Dragon. I'm going to have to get the book for that one. Damn, and the Lion. Like, and with the Knight, like, here's the thing, Virgo Divine Masculine, I feel like Spirit is like calling you to step into your power, regardless of what's going on in your life outside yourself, with the relationships, all this other shit. I feel like for you specifically, your soul, like Creator is calling you to step into your power, because both the Lion and the Dragon for me are powerful beings, right? Like think of Lord of the Rings, or not Lord of the Rings. Is it The Hobbit? I can't remember if Lord of the Rings has a dragon or not, but right? Like think about that, like powerful. And Lion, King of the Jungle. Also Leo energy, so maybe your divine counterpart is a Leo, right? Could be potentially. But let me get the book on this dragon, because it's this here circle at the top indicates cosmic. And so I'm not as familiar with potential meanings. And I'm feeling like there's a thread of information. Yeah, and I even opened up like to the exact page and didn't even realize that that's what I did. So yeah, the Dragon is seeing one's most true self and balancing the ego. So, you know, look, this is how can you be more active in chasing your desires? Maybe this is you. Okay? Maybe it's you. Because we're talking about balancing the ego here. And you have this Knight attribute, which is, you know, loyalty and romance and chivalry and love of honor. And then all of these other egoic type of things happening. Right? So if this is not you and another person, if this is yourself, two sides of you, right? It's a time to balance that out. The Dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When Dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the Dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the Dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride. And as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the Dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. I could be pronouncing that wrong, right? So for those who are familiar with yoga, if I did, I apologize. Agni is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the Dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. The Dragon and the third chakra. The subtle energy of the Dragon lives at the navel center in the Manipura chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. So yeah, you know, I do, again, here's the thing, right? We have this energy of I want to say like a reconciliation of self, right? And I feel that, like, you have this interconnectedness with synchronicity. And I did say that I feel like, you know, Spirit is speaking to you and is showing you things, right? And here, again, I feel like there is this almost like a calling for you, right? And I feel like you're dealing with this in your own way, right? No matter what that looks like. And communicating with the divine, whether, you know, consciously or subconsciously, trying to get into alignment. So, you know, here where we're asking, how can you be more active in chasing your desires? It's really about seeing your true self, balancing your ego, and making decisions based on your true self, right? Not from an egoic space, but from your true self. Tell us more about this dragon energy, please. I thought a card flipped over. No? Okay. Tell us more about this dragon energy, please. Okay. Damn, Daniel. Holy shit. Virgo divine masculine. This is big for you. You're in a big fucking... I mean, with the God incidences card anyways, like, I already had a feeling, you know, your reading was probably going to be something to express that you're going through like a profound stage of your life at this point, or a big level up. But with the Magician and the High Priestess here, like, first of all, you have the first two, like, numbered, because the Fool is the first card out and it's a 0, right? But you have the first two cards that are actually numbered from the Major Arcana deck, the Magician and the High Priestess. And here's the thing. The High Priestess came out first, right? And the dragon talks about seeing one's most true self. The High Priestess is the seer, essentially, right? She has that crystal ball there, represented with this tiger, and the moon, which talks about like things in the hidden, right? So here I'm getting like, first of all, High Priestess is your inner voice, your intuition, that divine truth, that wisdom. And I feel like it's about seeing that, listening to that. I've had intuition come up for you in this reading several times, right? So this is about trusting your intuition and following your intuition, right? Listening to that inner truth and seeing your true self. So like, it's, for me, legit, these two cards right here coming out with a dragon is literally basically just validating the dragon card. Is pretty much how I'm seeing it. And like, look at all this feline energy you have here with the lion on the bottom of the deck there, the High Priestess with that tiger, and the Magician, which is this leopard or cheetah or whatever the hell it is. Like, lots of feline, powerful energy. Again, your divine feminine counterpart could be a Leo with all this feline energy. Maybe you have cats. Do you have cats? I don't know why I just got that. You might have cats. If you have cats, this could be a message for you. I don't know why I'm getting that's the weirdest shit ever. I don't think I've ever got anything like that before. But then with the Magician here, the Magician is about understanding that you have all the tools that you need available to you already, right? So in the tarot, you have the swords, the cups, the pentacles, the wands, and the Magician has all of those, right? The Magician is about creation, mastery, willpower, adaptation, right? It is the archetype, thank you, of the alchemist. And interestingly enough, the High Priestess is the archetype of the mystic, which you have at the bottom of the deck, right? Nothing is an accident. Nothing comes from nothing, right? So literally, how do you be more active in chasing your desires? See yourself and what it is you truly want. Follow the intuitive, follow the intuitive hits that you're getting. Follow that divine truth and wisdom. I'm getting burpy fear energy. So release any fears, about not being able to trust yourself, about not being able to trust your intuition, about not being able to trust those messages, those signs, those things that you get, right? Release any fears around that and create the reality you want, because you have everything available to you to really master your own life. And I feel like you're being put in a position to make big changes right now. And it's just the start, right? With that 1 and 2, it is just the start. Look at this. The bottom of the deck currently is the Father of Wands. This is the King of Wands. In your traditional tarot, another Leo. energy. Okay. This is that big picture thinking. This is that leader energy, overcoming challenges, right? This is somebody who is courageous, brave, funny, passionate, and energetic, right? And I feel like this is where I feel like you feel this within you. It's very interesting because I feel like there's some level of you, Virgo, where you're like holding these things in, maybe keeping it to yourself or something, right? And I feel like it's just dying to be expressed. It's just wanting to get out, which is why it's at the bottom of the deck, right? It's not yet out. And I feel like you're being called to step into that courage, to step into that bigger picture thinking, to really look at how overcoming challenges has changed you, affected you, how moving into a new space of life, whatever that looks like, whether it's relationship, business, whatever it is for you, can really alter the bigger picture, right? Because in the moment, sure, you may not want to hurt somebody's feelings. If what I was picking up about leaving a relationship is relevant for you, sure, you may not want to hurt somebody's feelings, but in the long run, what's the bigger picture? You're unhappy, which is going to thus create more unhappiness for that person because the relationship is not going to work. You're going to continue to experience conflict, etc., because you don't want to be there, right? So it's like, look at the bigger picture and save yourself trauma later, right? But with, the line, again, with that lion here, I'm getting high Leo vibes, and that's that energy of being ruling. Again, with the, similar to the knight, it's very loyal energy, right? It's romantic. Leos are super romantic, super warm, super loving, right? And they're brave again. So there's that message of being brave. And I just feel like you're being called to be courageous, right? And I just got like reminded of the Wizard of Oz, which is crazy because that's never happened to me in a reading ever. And I just got like the lion from the Wizard of Oz, like the cowardly lion. Like, I'm not saying you're a coward, okay? So please don't take it that way. But what I am saying is that you're just being asked to be brave, right? To be brave and courageous and follow what it is you want. And I feel like, with divine masculine energy, that's half of their battle, is just being able to express openly and truthfully what it is that they want and need and asking for it. So let's see how you can connect with your inner warrior. How can Virgo divine masculine connect with their inner warrior, please? One card here, a change in the wind. Bottom of the deck is thinker, the number 44. Again, that number could be important to you for this time, right? You could be seeing it repeated. With the thinker, again, this is that energy of this Two of Swords in the reverse, right? Being at a space of indecision or a stalemate. And I think that's where you're at currently, right? It's like I feel like you're just going around. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I want to lovingly say that this card often references like analysis paralysis, right? Like, don't get stuck in your journey because you're not moving forward, because you're overthinking all the things, right? Like, Virgos, you guys are beautiful. You're amazing. You're so detailed. I have so many Virgo friends. I love them so much. But you guys are super analytical. And if you stay in that energy, you'll just keep running yourself in fucking circles. So it's like, you have to get out of that, right? You have to make moves now. And that's what I feel like is you're being called. Whether you are literally being called to move, or if your intuition is like, we shouldn't be here anymore, or whatever it is, right? It's this energy of being aware and not getting stuck in analysis paralysis. So I feel like you're being encouraged to make a decision on whatever this is, especially because you have this number 12 card here, a change in the wind. Your soul is literally begging for you to make changes, right? And here's the thing. With the 12, that reduces to the number 3. And in numerology, that is about growth. It's also about the completion of a phase. And I feel like that is where you are, right? Whatever this thing is, I feel like you're feeling called to move from it. I feel like you or something in you is like itching to move from it. Or maybe you even feel like you want to move shit around your house, or maybe you're like, maybe we should move or something. And it's really what's really going on is your soul is actually the thing that wants to move, right? Like from the level of awareness that you are into a new one. Wants to move you closer to your purpose, your soul purpose for being here, right? So I feel like, yeah. And what's fascinating about that is like, with this stripes on the zebra, like I'm getting that alignment. It's so weird that I would pick that up from the zebra, because that's not typical. Let's get some tarot on this though. I just feel that for you, that connecting with your inner warrior with this change of the wind is, or change in the wind, excuse me, is like you stepping out of your current reality and into a new one could bring out the warrior in you, right? Could help to stimulate that divine masculine energy within you more powerfully. Again, there's that similar words coming up, right? Tell us more about how Virgo divine masculine can connect with their inner warrior, please. Tell us more about Virgo divine masculine and how they can connect with their inner warrior. I just heard the words, let things change. Let things change. Maybe you've been holding on to something really tightly. What's this? The Hierophant. Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, I feel, you know, oh, okay. We also have, yeah. More major arcana coming out here for you, Virgo divine masculine. And here's the thing. Change in the wind, Hierophant in the reverse. Hierophant in the upright is that energy of like organized religion, you know, like society, legacy, tradition. It's often a card of like when the student is ready, the teacher appears as well. So it's like a card of like learning, right, as well. But yeah, because the Hierophant is like a mentor type of archetype. But in the reverse, as soon as this card fell out, I was getting big energies of like leaving the past behind, right? Leaving like, I don't know. Maybe this person is your, like maybe you're married to them, right? Because the Hierophant can indicate marriage when it comes up in the upright. Maybe you're married to this person and there's, you know, like the things that you've been taught have told you that you don't ever divorce, right? Like, it's gonna be so hard for you. Like, I don't know, but it feels to me like this is the end of maybe a marriage with the Hierophant in the reverse, or it is the end of old ways of thinking that have to do with like society and traditions and, you know, organized religion and things like that. So I feel like you can connect with your inner warrior by literally letting go of the old shit that is clearly not working anymore. Clearly not working. And with that Chariot card, Cancer energy again. So, you know, this is the second time that's shown up for you. I feel like with the Chariot, it's literally like moving away from that energy, that old, outdated energy. It's also, I mean, like, yeah, that's really what I'm getting is like just also, yeah, here's the other thing. I was just reminded, like, Chariot can be also about like choosing a path, because in like, where's my other deck? I wish I could find it. I have another deck where the Chariot is being pulled by two horses, one black, one white. Neither have any reins. Right? So it's that energy of like choosing a path, choosing one way or the other. And I feel like this is what needs to happen. Like it's literally spelling it out for you. Like you need to change, move away from the old, move toward the new, choose a path. Okay? So I don't know what this is. whatever this thing is for you, Virgo Divine Masculine, it feels like you're being called to move away from old ways of being, old ways of thinking, old patterns, old relationships, whatever it is that's not working for you, especially with these archetypes coming out of being, you know, lying, being deceitful, wanting to just do things for their own advancement, right? Or gain. Okay, so let me just run through here. You have Cancer energy, Taurus energy. Let's see. We have the Five of Swords. So that would be Aquarius, Two of Swords, Libra. Okay. And now we have the Three of Swords, which is also Libra on the bottom of the deck in the reverse, which is an energy of moving on. Forgiveness, recovery. Here's the thing. I feel like if this is a marriage or a relationship with someone else, I feel like they will recover. That's what I'm getting here. They'll recover. They'll make it, or they won't. And in which case, it's not your fucking job. It's not. You are responsible for your soul. That's it. That's fucking it. Like, how you treat people in this world, what you put out into the world is absolutely 100% what you manifest back to you. Period. Right? So, you know, you can take that you're only responsible for your own soul and treat people like shit, but guess what's happening to your soul? You're getting treated like shit too. Right? But at the same time, there are certain things that you will be there will be certain things that you will be called to do because you're at a different level. Sorry about that, Divine Masculine. My camera just cut out for some reason. But there will be things that you will be called to do because your soul is a different soul than whoever partner you're with. Right? Until you meet your like legit divine counterpart, your forever like person who matches your fucking soul and is meant to grow you through the rest of your experience here. Like, these people they'll recover. It's not your job. It's not your job. Right? So it's this energy of like, move on. Forgive yourself and move on. They'll recover and so will you. Right? So again, please do remember that this is a general, or this has been a general reading, right? So take what resonates, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't pick it up. Don't make it your story. It doesn't have to be. Okay. But I want to thank you so very much for sharing your time and energy with me. I have really enjoyed this reading a whole lot, and I hope that it helps you in some way, shape, or form. Please take care of your beautiful, beautiful soul, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.